Hi everyone, welcome back to Mama's Orchids. Going to do an orchid tour. See what's on spike and in bloom. I'm going to start off with this first one. This is a no ID, a Dendrobium phalaenopsis. And it's fairly old by now. Well, old as in like 4 years old, I think, which is old for me since I haven't been growing orchids that long, really. We have some new spikes right here, too, on top of the very long old cane. This cane is not a new cane, I believe. It's been around a couple of years now, and it's nice that these Dendrobium phalaenopsis will bloom off of old king as well as new ones, and you will get like for instance, let's see, this one you get blooms on top on the apical part, but you can also get blooms in between the nodes, and I can show you that in a minute off of the one cane right now that is blooming. And there you can see that there's old bloom there's old bloom spikes from last year, and then now there's new ones underneath, like the next node underneath the apical. It can get bloom spikes from there too. This is a fairly frequent because of the number of blooms, clusters of flowers. You can really detect a scent, and it's a sweet scent, a floral sweet scent. So this is a very easy to grow orchid, honestly, and the blooms are so rewarding. They stay for quite a long time. It gets very large, unfortunately. That's the only setback, is you have to have room for this sort of orchid. Next one we have is a skinneri. I don't know anything more than that, other than it's a skinneri, I believe. And I've done a video on this one before. It does have color break, which is caused by a virus, and I do have it pretty close to the other orchids now, because I don't think that really you can these viruses are transmitted just from being next to another orchid. I think that it's more likely that it's through sharing of what do you call tools, like if you were to cut into the plant and transmit it by not cleaning the tool and cut into another plant that's healthy. So I believe that's the way that's transmitted. But these bulbs are just really. Here's a picture. I'm going to put a picture right here that has the bloom on it. It's beautiful, and I don't want to get rid of it just because it has a virus. All right, now next is the BC Meike Mayumi. We have some bloom sheath on there, and I'm expecting not quite as a huge bloom as last year. I don't think it's got a lot of new growth, so it only blooms on new growth, and the old growth, I don't think it blooms on it anymore, I believe. Yeah. And this next one is another Dendrobium phalaenopsis, and we have it's blooming. There's a spike in the old cane, and this old cane is fairly old. There's some spike, and the new cane should get some bloom spikes later. This is a ladybird, I believe. And then this is ladybird. Yeah, the one before that was the snowflake hybrid. This is ladybird, and it's some bloom sheath on there too. This one is starting to grow. It's a Cattleya, can't remember the name of it. So we're just looking for some spikes and see if there's any, but right now there's none. None in those, none in that one. This is more bloom sheath right here, and this is BC Mackay Louise. We should, yeah, there's some sheaths right there. This one, there is two bloom sheaths on there, I believe I saw. And I have yet to seen this bloom, this orchid bloom at all. It has, let me see if I can find the name. It's Jewel Box, I believe. Let's see if I can, there. So Jewel Box, Dark Waters. Let's back up right here. I have all of these orchids sitting underneath my opal gourd vines for shade. Now I have more orchids on the other side of the yard where it's a little more shade for the younger ones. And there they are. Okay, first one that I have right here is a Doriitis Pocherima that has a spike, and this one is a reddish hybrid, Brassavola hybrid, which I don't think I have a tag for it anywhere. It's first time bloom for me when it does bloom. So let's see if there are any more spikes anywhere. And this is also a Brassavola hybrid. And I have these in baskets right here because they're just younger ones. This is a Sherry Baby, and it was in spike and broke. So we'll see if it will recover and still send out a spike off of a broken part. This is the Catatonia Why Not? And I see some scale on here. I'm going to have to bring it to the sink and scrub all this off leaf by leaf and treat it with some alcohol and see if that works. There's a name tag. And set that aside for a minute and remember to bring it to the sink to clean this here. And this next one is a mini Dendrobium. Has been really badly damaged by snails. And then this Doriitis, just like this first one, I divided it. And this one, let's go to the kitchen. We have a Catacetum. It's a Frilidoris SVO 2 times Catacetum Spitzi SVO Gold. And it's fragrant, and I just love the blooms. They're just so different. It's not brilliant in color, but it's still it's the structure. It's a nice sort of alien-like to look at, I guess. Now, I left this out in the rain, so there's some pieces of some kind of stuff on it. Also, unfortunately, the male part of the bloom has dislodged, and now the blooms think that it's done its job and has been pollinated, has done its job in pollinating. So it's going to, some of the buds will probably start fading and dropping off in the next few days. I left it out in the rain, so as the rain came and particles of outdoor, parts of other plants have blown at it and hit some of the structures of the flowers and dislodged this part right here. So the flowers thinks it's done its job in pollination process and probably will die off. I wish I hadn't left it out in the rain now, but that's okay. It's a very reliable bloomer. Well, there's a nice thing is there's a second spike, and there it is right in between the two pseudobulbs. Now, I've never had two spikes on one Catacetum before, and I'm assuming that my bulbs were too little before. So, and here's a better view on this side of that second spike developing right there. So this is a little bit exciting for me that it's got a second spike, so it's neat. And I better feed it. It's not too late to feed it with that second spike, as small as it is right now. It still would benefit from fertilizer. Let's head back outside and go to my outdoor shower to continue looking for spikes and inflorescence. And this one I have yet to see it bloom, so, and there are here's the name. Let's see if I can pull the tag out here. Can hardly read it. Delight number 3 something. Anyway, maybe I'll do another video on that one once the sheaths are showing buds or in bloom. This is a mini Dendrobium, and there are lots of new growth on that one, so hard to believe that this Kinkianum came from just one single little king, and a keiki, in fact. Love seeing all these Vander roots. And I don't believe there's any more orchids in spike that I know of. And that's all there is for today. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a good day. Bye-bye.